Sports Not Matt Johnson here, joined today by NFL and college football quarterback analyst, air raid specialist Crissy Froyd. Crissy, we're going to be talking about Grayson McCall today, one of the real risers in college football. And what helped Grayson McCall really stand out last year that's making him a rising name heading into the 22 season?
Yeah, I think McCall showed last year and really ever since he's been at Coastal that he can play a large role in taking an off-the-radar team to new heights. He finished last season with a 73% completion percentage, touchdown interception ratio of 27-3 as just a sophomore last year. That's a lot of talent for a really young quarterback. He's had a lot of success over a really short period of time, is clearly picking up things really quickly, already casting down any of the stigmas that surround him, like the fact that he plays at a small school. So I think that this is a guy who didn't transfer to a larger school that is going to continue to put Coastal Carolina on the radar. And that's a team that made it to the rankings last year that hasn't seen those in a long time.
And you mentioned, he had a good opportunity this year. He could have transferred to a bigger school from North Carolina, but he decided to stay at Coastal Carolina. And talking to him, what do you think led to that decision where he didn't choose to transfer to a bigger program?
Well, I think it comes down to loyalty. I mean, when I talked to Grayson McCall, he seemed to have a lot of, just like I said, loyalty to Coastal Carolina. He feels like it's the program that built him. He feels like he owes them something. And while I think that he could increase his draft stock and people can't say, hey, you play for a group of five school anymore, I don't think that matters to him. I think he says, hey, I've elevated this school. I've taken it to this place and I've shown what I can do and I'm comfortable in that. And this is home for me. That's what he told me.
And this is definitely a quarterback you're very high on. Obviously, this is going to be a very good quarterback class. You have Tyler Van Dyke, you have rising names, which also have Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. But you have him as quarterback 3. So what about Grayson McCall really stands out to you?
Well, I think for one, he's in a really, really difficult offensive scheme. I mean, to me, this is right up there with the West Coast, and he's done a good job at the helm of it ever since he took the reins. Maintains a really high level of accuracy at all areas of the field, has the ability to make those off-platform throws, those throws on the run without his feet set. Something the quarterback in this offense absolutely has to be able to do. Operates a little bit differently than other offenses in that aspect. I think he's been knocked a little bit for his arm strength. Some people are saying that he has a noodle arm. I don't really see that. I think he doesn't have a cannon for an arm, and maybe he's overshadowed by the fact that a lot of quarterbacks in this class do. But arm strength isn't everything at the end of the day, and I think that he puts adequate zip on the throws that need them. And I think he's sent some shots into some really tight windows too. So I think he has it factor as a passer, but I think his it factor might lie even more in this just gritty, electric type of get the job done mobility, which is another thing that he's known for. So this is a quarterback who's a true dual threat, which is something that translates really well, especially to today's modern NFL.
And you mentioned with Coastal Carolina's offense, obviously it's very different. And one thing it does is obviously highlight some of his strengths, which this should be the goal of every offense for a quarterback. So what are some of the things with this scheme that Coastal Carolina runs that is so different from others in college football?
Yeah, so I think it's a triple option offense that has RPOs in it. We see a lot of that, but I think the run game element is what makes it unique. It has a very complicated run game element to it. But I think it requires a quarterback to do a lot of things. It requires a really high football IQ to comprehend it. I've looked at it myself a few times, have to react to things really quickly, make decisions really quickly. So I think that for McCall to have operated this so well from such a young age says a lot about him, because I'm not sure that there's a lot of quarterbacks that could go into this situation and pick it up, and not just pick it up, but be as successful as he has with it.